welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. So in my never-ending quest to get back to old YouTube, we are going to declutter today. I have everything laid out in front of me and might I say I am shocked at the sheer volume. Before I started a YouTube channel, I was just a person who liked makeup. And now that I have a YouTube channel, I consider it a collection because that's what everyone calls it. So this is my collection. I thought over this series we could go through different styles of products. So today we're gonna go over makeup, specifically my foundations and concealers, so all of my coverage products. I have quite a few. I have some thoughts about a few. I know that some definitely need to let go, especially a few that they are probably expired, I'm not gonna lie to you. A few of these items are new as well that I really want to talk to you guys about, and let me know if you do want to review on any of the things listed here. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. It helps me out so much. We talk about more than just makeup on this channel. We talk about skincare, lifestyle, blogging, mental health, YouTube. We talk about a lot. It's time to let go. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, this is everything and my glass of wine, which is gonna be necessary to go through the sheer amount of products here. Okay, I'm gonna break these up between foundations and concealers and we'll go through them kind of like that. So I'm gonna pull out all my foundations first. Okay, here they are. Every BB foundation, powder foundation, skin tint, the whole 9 yards. This is all that I own. And let's go through this because I know that I do not need this money. Like, it's very obvious I don't need this money. And a lot of these are, unfortunately, probably expired. So cheers to that. I really would like to become a more intentional buyer. So this is a good experiment for me to see how I can do that. Okay, let's just start from here. So this is a Korean skincare product from the brand It's Skin, and this is their Tiger Cica cushions. The cushion craze here actually came from, maybe I should back it up a bit. It came from my Wet n Wild cushion actually. So let me back it up here. We'll get to this. I don't know if any of you tried this while it was still a product and not discontinued, but the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It has a light to medium coverage, a beautiful natural finish, not too dewy, not too matte, great for oily skin, great for dry skin, like literally the most perfect foundation of all time. And it's been discontinued, of course. And at the time it was like literally $3 or $4. I mean, this was everything to me and my best friend. I would have bought more if I knew that this is what was gonna happen. This is probably my third one. And to be honest, I should probably throw it away, but I'm not going to. You can see there's a tiny bit left in here and I just can't risk letting this go. I use this on days when I wanna feel really, really pretty and I just need that in my arsenal. So I am going to keep this. Now this one, however, going back to this one, I do like this one, but unfortunately the shade is a little bit too pale for me. It's just not my exact color, and because of that I am going to go ahead and give it away, I think, or throw it away, because the last couple times that I've worn this, it's just come off super, super pale, and this isn't the kind of foundation that you can mix with another, you know, like color, because it is in a cushion form. This is actually, though, if you are interested in Korean skincare or Korean makeup, which I do have a couple of videos about Korean makeup and skincare on my channel if you're interested, but this has Cica in it, so this is gonna really help with acne, redness, irritation, all of that. Okay, so speaking of like mixing and stuff like that, I wanted to bring these into the mix because these are my NYX Pro foundation mixers. I have them in white and olive, so I have a very olive skin tone naturally. This is what I used to use to keep my foundations the right shade, like literally year round. I have not touched these in so long, like 6 months to a year, and they're only good for 12 months. I mean, this is a huge amount of product. Oh, okay, it's coming out. This is a huge amount of product for the amount that you actually use on any given basis. Like, you might use this much, literally this much, like to help mix your colors, but you're not gonna use more than this. And these are probably a fluid ounce, yeah, like the size of a foundation. So I don't know. Instead of using this olive color, I think that I'll start using my Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy, which I have a video on that. It's a serum and I know that it works with my skin, so I don't feel like I really need to worry about breaking out with it. But I think I am going to keep this white color actually though, because it's always good to have it in case you do buy like a foundation in the summer and it's just not working for you in the winter. It's actually not the worst idea. But I think I am going to go ahead and part ways with my olive one because I have my Drunk Elephant Debronzy that I can use for that instead. Or you can mix it together and make your perfect foundation shade, LOL. That's kind of funny, I never thought of doing that, and now I'm like, wait a second, do I need that? Also, it's like just being a bougie bitch is someone who like has foundation mixers. I don't know. I don't need it anymore. Continuing on with the Korean train here. This is the Misha Perfect BB Cream, and everybody loves this, right? Like, I got this because of Jessica Braun, who is obsessed with it, and so many people love this, and I actually did find a color match, which is number 25. It's like one of the only warm ones that I could find, and this, to me, I put it in a fails in a summer video. This is thick, so thick and so gooey. Like, to me, this is not a BB cream. This is like a full-on foundation. Nothing about this feels BB-like. It will cover up everything. I've worn it a few times and it just felt so thick. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't know, maybe I should try it one more time. I don't know. This always happens when I watch other people's declutters and I'm like, are you kidding? Just get rid of it. And here I am being like, oh, maybe I should try it again. What do you guys think? Have you tried this before? Should I give it another shot? I need to know the tea on this because I can't seem to get it to work. Maybe I need to use like the tiniest amount. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it because look how much is in here. I've used it one time. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it one more time. Why am I doing this? I'll try it tomorrow. I'll try it tomorrow and I'll keep you in the loop in my community tab whether or not I end up taking it away or not. Let's talk about another high coverage foundation. This is the Este Lauder Double Wear, and this is in the shade Desert Beige. So the reason that I have this tiny mini one is because this is the foundation I was supposed to wear on my wedding day. Yeah. And now it's really sad when you think about that. My wedding was canceled twice because of COVID. I do have a story time about that. If you are interested, I can leave it up above. I never ever wear really thick, like full coverage foundations. And so I wanted to get the smallest size they possibly could give me in the double wear because this is what I was gonna wear on my big day to cover up any imperfections, any flaws, all that good stuff. And yeah, the day never came. So I still have it and I'm definitely going to keep it because I don't want to go through that all over again. I will be having my wedding in less than a year at this point in October, and this is a 24-month product, so I am going to keep it because I'm going to use that damn product on my wedding day if it kills me. Let's knock out these other minis while we're here. This is a sample I got and I haven't tried it, and for some reason I decided to keep it, and so now I'm wondering, why did I keep this? This is the Tarte Maracuja Hydrated Tinted Tinter Hydrate. I don't know. I think it's like a skin tint. And this is also a favorite of Jessica Braun's. And so, of course, you know me, I'm very curious about stuff that she likes. But she also, she also likes the Misha. So I don't want to, that's kind of nice. That is kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little dewy for me having oily skin. I think I will try it out. This is in shade 34N Neutral. This is actually a pretty good shade match for me. Look at that. Can't even see it on my hand. Granted, this isn't the best lighting, but still. You know, it's taking this declutter for me to do this. I think I prefer this foundation or the way that this looks on my skin a lot more than the Misha. And they are similar in like the way that they feel, but this feels a lot more natural. Okay, I'm gonna try that tomorrow, and I'll try the Misha another time. I actually am interested in that. Here we go again. I do have a mini of the very popular, very famous IT Cosmetics CC Plus, the SPF 50. I used to have a huge version of this. It is actually in my shade, which is nice. This is in shade medium. I used to use this like freaking crazy. I was obsessed with it. I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, everyone was using this. And again, similar vibes to what we were just talking about, like in between a foundation and a like tinted moisturizer. But this, again, also very thick. I mean, the fact that they call this a CC cream to me is a little bit of a criminal act because it's a foundation. It is fully a foundation. I know that this foundation works for my skin type because I've used it a lot before, so it's got that smell, doesn't it? I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it because it's tiny, and you guys know that I love minis, and I am sort of on the hunt for the perfect foundation right now, and I'm just not really finding what I want. And it's for another time for me to tell you guys what I'm looking for, but I just haven't found it yet. And so I'm gonna keep testing. I know there are a few here that are not the one, but oh, guys, I'm looking at the rest of these and I already know I'm gonna keep them all. Oh, this is bad. Okay, actually, this is my CoverGirl BB, and I absolutely do love this product very, very much, but it's totally expired. This is like a year, and I've had this for way over a year. This is a beautiful product if you have oily skin. It's just so nice. It's very lightweight, mattifying. I would use this in the summer, and if you were oily especially. I don't like to wear it in the winter because I do find that it's just too mattifying, too oil controlling, especially with my tretinoin skin being as dry as it is. So I am going to go ahead and pass this on. I will definitely be purchasing this in the future again, probably once it gets warm out, but until then, she's going to have to go because she is expiriando. Let's go over my two Bare Mineral guys here. So these two foundations literally saved me when I was going through tretinoin skin and when I was going through my purge. This is the Loose Original Foundation, and this is the Bare Pro Pressed Foundation. I prefer this much more than the original foundation personally. This to me is an easier application, easier to buff. Everything about it is just more up my alley in terms of my skin type and skin texture. And it's also easier to carry around with you. Like, you can use this as your foundation and then put it in your purse, and it's like, great, you can touch up with the exact same thing you used. So definitely keeping this. Absolutely love this, especially if you have oily skin. It is a winner. Will knock you out of the park. I don't know if I can break myself to get rid of the original. I think I'm gonna give it to my mom. This is so much work. Like, bottom line, this is so much work. It is a lot of buffing, a lot of buffing. And you know, like the tutorials, you just put a tiny bit in the cap and then you buff, and then you go back and then you buff, and then you go back and then you buff. Like, this is gonna take a while to build any sort of coverage that you really want. I am in the shade Golden Beige 13. So I'm gonna give this to my mom because this is, of course, every mother's favorite, is the original from Bare Minerals. I did use this during my tretinoin period when things were really, really bad, and ever since then, if things do get bad, I use the Bare Pro and not the loose. So I'm gonna give this to my mom and keep the pressed version. Two absolute staples in my routines that, like, there's no way that I would get rid of them. These two, like, I don't want to say that they're my favorites, but they're close to it. First up being the Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation from Maybelline. This is such a cult classic for such a good reason. Everybody loves this foundation. This shade is a little bit light for me. This is 120 Classic Ivory. I would say I'm a little bit darker than this naturally, but this is an absolute beautiful foundation if you do have oily skin and you need something to really give you coverage. In fact, you know, if this double wear doesn't work out for me during my test, which I am doing my own makeup for my wedding, so look out for that video in like 6 months, I don't know. I will definitely try this out because this is what I wear to other people's weddings. This is what I wear to events. This is what I wear when I need something to stay on all night. I absolutely love this. It's done an amazing job for me since I was a teenager. It's amazing. And then, of course, the L'Oreal Infallible. Everyone loves this, and I think for good reason. I don't love it as much as everyone else does, which I find to be weird. It's definitely way too light for me, as you can see. This is shade 425, and it smells like paint. I do really like this foundation. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that it is really, really nice, and it stays all day, and it doesn't seep into your fine lines and all of that good stuff. But something about it and the way that it dries, I don't love. I also don't love that it has SPF in it. It's SPF 25, and I don't know. I prefer to use my SPF in my skincare and not in my makeup, so that's just a personal preference, but this is definitely a great foundation. Great for events as well, but maybe a little bit more wearable than the Fit Me, so we'll definitely be keeping this. I really do like this foundation. Okay, so everything left is like sort of new stuff that I've been using recently, and I think as of now that I am going to keep it. So this is the Nudies Tinted Blur Stick. This could be considered a primer as well as a like coverage product, to be honest with you. I would consider it maybe more of a primer. It comes in a stick form and it does have a shade to it. So I am in shade 4 medium. And there are not the best shade range, but once I figured out what it was and that it wasn't a stick foundation, I kind of understood it. So it's a blurring primer, that's all. It's basically like a blurring stick, but it just comes in a skin tone shade. So this is nice if you don't want to wear foundation and you just want to kind of fill in those like pores and blur them out. But this isn't going to cover up redness. This isn't going to cover up acne. Like, this is just for if you want to kind of like cover up your pores and leave, which is kind of rare for me. I do like this as a primer under foundation. And if I do wear it on my own, it's like, you know, really out the door type of day. I am going to keep this. I do love Nudestix as a brand, and I think this is a unique product, but don't go into it thinking it's like a foundation because it's more like a primer. Okay, this was a summertime purchase of mine, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. So the funny thing about this is it's really not hydrating. It's actually pretty matte. I talked about this in a favorites and fails as well that I can link up above if you're interested. It's definitely a light coverage product. It's really smoothing. It's really, really moussey style texture, and it does blend into the skin pretty seamlessly. This is a good color match for me, so you really can't even tell. I would recommend, if you do want to try this out because you like the Hydro Boost line, apply this with your hands and your fingers and not a brush because it is going to dry it out even more. I'm in shade Natural Beige. I really like this style of product, how you can go in and kind of apply where you want to apply it and not have to put it all over your face. So that is a style of product that I have been interested in recently, which is why I've been kind of going the stick foundation route a lot. I do like this. It oxidizes a tiny bit. It's pretty inexpensive. You can get it at the drugstore, and it does not have SPF in it, which I like. So I'm going to keep this. I really do like it. I realize that I've kept most things here. I might need to go back and put some in the other pile. Okay, the last two are actual new purchases for me within the last like couple weeks. So as you guys may know from my previous videos, I have been on the hunt for the perfect stick foundation, and I don't know that I have found it, but I feel like I've gotten closer to it with this Huda Beauty foundation stick. I went to Sephora and I asked her about it, and she told me, okay, that made it sound like I asked Huda herself. That'd be incorrect. I asked the Sephora advisor what she thought about it, and she said people who like low coverage, which is me, have been loving this because it's really buildable. And so I picked it up, and I do agree. However, it's still like a pretty full coverage foundation. I mean, it's Huda, what do we expect? It is a nice natural finish. It blends really well, and the color is absolutely spot on for my skin tone. This is in shade Toasted Coconut for me. It's a really nice applicator. I feel like this could replace my foundations, like my loose foundations like this in the future, because it's so easy to apply and I don't have to apply it everywhere. I can just put it in specific areas. So I really do like this, and I am gonna keep it because I like the ease of use. I'm still on the hunt for a actual low coverage foundation stick, but I don't know that that's ever going to be a thing, because how would they keep it in a stick if it was like dewy and low coverage? They wouldn't be able to. But if you have a recommendation for something like that, please let me know. Oh my god, I've been filming for like half an hour. Can you imagine how long my freaking video about sheer lipstick is gonna be? It's gonna be like 3 hours long. Okay, so the very last thing I got is this skin tint from a company called Arrive Beauty. This is a super small indie brand. I have seen them on TikTok, but I also saw Khaki talk about them on YouTube. I really love her. I can leave her channel down below. We have very similar, like what we want out of a product is very similar, so I always trust her recommendations. So this product is made for people with sensitive skin. I need to shake it up. It's called a Skin Tint Perfecting Boost. Skin Boost Perfecting Tint. So far, so good. It is a little light for me, and this is the shade medium. So this is one of those that I would actually mix in my Drunk Elephant bronzer with it, but it's a really nice consistency. I know that it's good for sensitive skin. It's got minimal ingredients. It's fragrance free, no SPF, so I can decide how I want to cover my SPF with my skincare. It's just made for people with sensitive skin, and I really do like that. Their shade range is not great, but they have one shade for each skin type, so they have like one light, one medium, one dark, one deep. So I do like it. I am going to keep it and continue to use it. I am wearing it today. So refer to the intro if you were interested. Definitely going to keep this since I just got it, and I'll keep you guys updated about how I feel about it. Okay, I am making the executive decision to get rid of the Misha. I didn't like it. So no, I'm not keeping it. Bam, just like that. Not that I did well, but you know, it's better than nothing. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and throw away my NYX white foundation mixer because who am I kidding? I don't use this. Like, I'm just gonna buy a foundation that's in my right shade. It's rarely darker. It's usually always lighter, so bye. Okay, I'm proud of myself. I did pretty okay. We are going to fly through these concealers because I don't have that many and this video is getting very long. And you can see that I have 3 of the exact same kind, so that should tell you exactly how I feel about these. Starting off with my favorite, this is the full family of the Tarte Hydro Sealer Concealer. So this is the one I'm currently going through. This is my travel mini that I take with me when I go places, and this is my backup because I literally cannot be without this concealer. If they could make this concealer in a foundation, I would buy it immediately because I use this as a foundation like at least 50% of the time. They probably won't do that though. But Tarte, if you're watching this, I would flipping die if you made a foundation out of the Hydro Sealer. Don't change it, just put it in a bigger bottle. Absolutely love this. Favorite concealer of all time. Will not be getting rid of them. Will continue to buy them until they discontinue, which I would just go crazy if you did. Let's talk about under eye correctors. So I have 2, the Pixi by Petra in Brightening Peach and also the Sephora Bright Future Color Correctors. And this is in the shade Melon. I do like both of these for different reasons. So the Pixi Correction Concentrate is really good for those nights where you're like going out and you need to look like your absolute best. So this to me is like a wedding night, like going to a concert, going on a first date type of coverage here when it comes to the under eye. It is really nice and matte. It's not going to crease. It's a thick, really thick coverage, so you just have to be careful with how much you apply, but it is really concentrated. Love it, love it, love it. If you're looking for something that's more everyday, I would recommend Sephora Bright Future. This is in the shade Melon. Absolutely love it. Keeping both of these for sure. I do have a video about this if you're interested. I can leave it up above. You can see the difference there. This is more of a like peachy shade and this is more of a pink. They're just a little bit different. This is going to blend out to also be very matte, but it sits a little bit nicer under a light coverage concealer. They're good for different reasons, and with my very dark under eyes, I feel the need to always have something on hand. So this is the Fit Me concealer that goes with the Fit Me foundation, and this used to be my absolute favorite, and recently I tried it and I didn't like it. I was kind of sad. I think that it's just a little bit too drying for my under eyes. This is in shade 20 Sand. This used to be one of my favorite products, and I feel like as my skin has changed because of my skincare routine and tretinoin and just generally getting older, this has become too cakey and too drying for me, which is sad to say. I never reach for it anymore, and so for that reason, I think I'm gonna have to get rid of it, which is really sad because this was everything to me at one point. I just don't use it anymore. I don't like the way it looks under my eyes. It's just too thick, so she's getting kicked out. Sorry, girl. Another product that I'm like not so sure about, but I will be keeping because that's expensive and I got it recently. This is the Becca Aqua Luminous concealer in the shade Light, and I cannot find this anywhere. Like, I tried to link to it in another video for you guys and I did not see it on Sephora's website, so I'm interested in that. This is supposed to be a very light coverage concealer, which it is, but in my opinion, it's almost like too light and does nothing. And at the same time, it's really kind of dry and dries down immediately. On top of that, it's too light for me. Shocking. I keep buying stuff that's too light for me. And it's too pink. Like, I am an olive girl and this is like for a baby's butt, and that's just not for a Croatian woman like myself. It's also got a really interesting like doe foot. It's really fat and like barely fits in the hole. Okay, you're nasty. I don't really like it, but I spent a lot of money on it, so I should have returned it, but I'm way out of my return policy now, so I'm keeping it and I am going to use it. So this concealer is very special to me. This is the NARS Pot Concealer, the Soft Matte Complete Concealer. They do have a foundation line for this as well. This is an incredible concealer for covering up your blemishes. This is my #1 favorite for covering blemishes by far. It is incredibly thick, incredibly pigmented, and that's what it's meant to do, okay? It's meant to sit on your skin and help blend out around any acne that you might have. So I'm in the color Custard, which like classic classic. I wouldn't say it's drying because it's meant to sort of dry down on your skin. Like, this is not a concealer that is meant to be under the eye. If you have hyperpigmentation, if you have acne, if you have redness, this is it. You need to get this. I can never throw this away. I love it so much. This looks absolutely disgusting. I'm embarrassed to show it to you. This is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate in shade C7. This is, oh, look how disgusting that is. Oh my gosh. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Shape Tape, and this is in the hydrating version. No, this is being thrown away immediately. Once again, it's pink. It's way too pink for my skin tone, and it's old and it's nasty, and I don't even like this. So this used to be it for me. Like, this type of concealer was like what I died for, and now I'm like, actually I prefer a lighter coverage. So nope, it's going away. It's disgusting. I'm sorry I made you look at that. And the very last thing is also, unfortunately, a wedding purchase. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. This is incredibly thick, incredibly pigmented concealer, and it really, really works well on event days. With flash photography, it looks really beautiful. It's just, I mean, this stuff could cover up a tattoo, literally. Like, look at that. There's a tattoo under there. This stuff is, you know, the Mariah has to sing tonight type of stuff. This is what I will be using on my wedding day. I do set this really, really well with a powder, which like usually just the Laura Mercier powder, and it looks beautiful. This will cover your life. This will cover every single piece of your life that you need to be covered. Definitely not a daily wear, but it is great for events, and for that reason, I will be keeping it. It's not great, but it's better than it was, right? So throwing away, keeping, or giving away, keeping. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hate that you can't see my face, and I apologize for that. I've got a lot of fun videos coming up for you guys. It's gonna be a fun holiday season. We're gonna talk about my absolute favorite makeup and skincare products of the entire year. Those are gonna be some major videos, and I can't wait to see you guys really soon in the next one. Talk to you guys soon.